welcome back to my channel. I'm Joey the Veiled Cottage Witch, and today we're doing a new moon solar eclipse in Virgo reading for the collective. We've got a lot of energy going on. It is a time to reorganize. This is a time to focus on clarity, healing. This is an opportunity to analyze the minutia, the everyday details of life. It's a time to do some reorganizing and making adjustments in relationships, in careers, and in personal goals. This is a big opportunity to wipe the slate clean. And this is a challenging time, but it's a perfect opportunity to align with your true self and embrace the process of evolving and refining your current circumstances. And this is necessary to make way for future manifestations. So this is a really important reading. If I were you, I'd take some notes. So we've got beautiful crystals all around that align with Virgo and the solar eclipse. So we've got Amazonite, lapis lazuli, amethyst, aventurine, aquamarine, carnelian, moss agate, and sunstone. We've got the Virgo card from the Black Moon astrology card, and the OG Sun card for the solar eclipse. I'll be using the Deviant Moon deck for the main part of the reading, and the message from Spirit that I always do will be the secret language of darkness. This will be the first time I use this deck. I've yet to review it with you guys, but that will be my next review. So here's what we're going to be reading. We're going to be reading the minutia. This is where we are going to benefit from applying more attention to the tiny details of life. This is where we need to focus in. The second card, we're going to be talking about where we need to tend, what area of our spirituality needs tending, where we need to put more focus on the big picture. So the first card is going to be about the small details. The second card is going to be big picture, spirituality. The third card is going to be all about service. What gift can we give to others to be of service in our communities? We often kind of look over that and we really don't pay attention to that, but we really should. The fourth card is going to be the harvest card. What area of our physical lives need focus in order to grow? So that's what we're going to take a look at. And then finally, the middle card is going to be a message from Spirit, as always. So here we go. I love the Deviant Moon deck because it's so very strange and weird. And the solar eclipse around the new moon is just such a strange and weird time, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You know, we don't really know what our emotions are doing. And this deck kind of is like that. We don't always know what this deck is doing. And I kind of dig that when we're dealing with chaotic energies or energies that ask us to look at things in an often unknown perspective, I'll say. So that's what we're gonna do. All right. That middle one feels hot. This one right here feels good for me. Oh, I love it when it does that. When I can get it to perfectly do that, I'm so happy. It's the little things, guys. It's the little things. All right. These are bigger than my head. I will be modifying these after I do my review. They're just too big, and I feel like the frames are unnecessary. So that's what I did to the Black Moon Astrology. I'm going to be doing it with this. I feel like I can do it with pretty good accuracy by now. So get my corner cutter and my big old machete paper cutter out, and maybe I'll make the sides nice and black. That'll be fun. Or silver. Who knows? Oh, this one is very warm. Middle one this time. All right. Let's turn them over and see what we got. All right. Interesting cards. Okay. So for our minutia, where would we benefit from applying more attention to the minutia in our lives? We've got the Ace of Swords. And this is very much, let me see if we can we see everything? Let me move things up a little bit. Better? Yeah. All right. So with the Ace of Swords, this is such a weird card. Look at that. With the Ace of Swords in this deck, we've got the winding around, the sword. And swords for me are thought, truth, and communication. And I feel like this is talking about starting to communicate. It's a starting card because it's an ace. We can start to communicate our truth better. And this meaning setting better boundaries. This can be speaking our truth and not beating around the bush. Speaking from a place of standing up for yourself and not leaving hints. We need to be clear with our words, not leaving hints, but really saying what we mean and meaning what we say. This is such a throat chakra card for me. I feel swords are very much air for me. And this is the potential, since it's an ace, of air. This tells me that we can start applying more attention to how we speak in our daily lives, the minutia. We really need to pay attention to how we say the things that we do. Sometimes we can say things that have a sharp edge, and we need to speak our truth, but we need to do it in a way that is, yes, we need to stand up for ourselves, but we don't always have to be, brutal truth is not always the truth. It doesn't need to have an edge to it, you know, but it needs to be the truth. Okay, so focus on communicating your truth on the daily details. So throughout the day, speaking your truth. Okay, if that makes sense. All right. The second one, tending. What area of our spirit needs tending to right now? And it's the Seven of Swords. And this is like the show off card for me. You know, we really need to, in our spirituality, tend to what we know. You know, we can dip a toe into some spirituality that we want to explore, but what needs tending now are the things that we do best. That's what needs to be nurtured right now. If you are just learning about ceremonial magic or whatever, but folk magic is where your heart lies, you need to focus more on that folk magic. Do what works for you. You need to stay in your comfort zone right now when it comes to spirituality. You know, you can try other things, but when it comes to doing actual spell work, you need to come back home to what works best for you. You don't need to get fancy, in other words. You know, if what works for you, there's no need to try and step outside of your comfort zone. And like, let's just say, you know, somebody said, oh, you should work with Zeus. He's super powerful. But you've always worked with other deities like maybe Odin. And you know Odin and you work with runes and you're comfortable with that. And you know that spell work, when you work with Odin, always works for you. If it ain't broke, honey, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? If you want a spell to work, go with what works for you. If that makes sense to you. That's what needs tending. You need to come back home to what kind of magic works for you. And that goes for not just magic and witchcraft, but in every area of spirituality. If you are comfortable doing what you're doing, stay there. You don't have to go outside of that, and don't feel pressure from others to do so. Okay? All right. Now, service. What gift can we give to others to be of service in our communities? Well, this needs to be a group effort. This is the 10 of Wands. And upright, you're carrying a lot of burdens. When it's reversed, you're delegating that to others. So this tells me that it needs to be, you need to gather a group of people, gather your friends, gather your family, get together, and as a group, see what you guys can do. You know, maybe you can get together and volunteer somewhere. There are so many places that can use volunteers. I know animal shelters take volunteers, homeless shelters, veteran shelters. You know, don't think that you have to do it by yourself. There are, you know, there are people that want to do that. So reach out and, you know, gather helpers to help you do that. You shouldn't be doing that alone. Don't bear that burden yourself. It takes a village. Okay. Now, the fourth one is what area of your physical life need focus in order to grow. And we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. This tells me that you need to focus on family. Upright, you see it's family, they're gathered. There's lots of resources available. When it's reversed, there needs to be more focus on that family. And this may well be related to this. You know, physically, this could be saying that you have support of your family, of your loved ones. You don't have to suffer in silence. You can ask for help. If there are things you need to do, maybe around the house, that are hard for you at this physical moment in your life, ask your family for help. You know, I'm sure that they would love to help you. But you can't carry everything yourself. This may be a time where you bite the bullet and ask for help. This is going to help build your strength and endurance so that you can maybe help somebody else if they need. You know, what goes around comes around. If they help you, you can help them sometime, you know? All right. Now for message for spirit, we have dream work, messages from the unconscious. What are your dreams telling you? What kind of visions, what kind of meditations, what messages from your spirit guides, what are they telling you? What are they guiding you? What symbols are you constantly receiving? Pay attention to those. Those are going to help you in what you need to do this season. You know, what you need to do in the upcoming moon phases, because in 2 weeks we have another full moon. I know, it's crazy. So as these messages come in, they're going to help you in what needs to be manifested in that full moon that's coming up. So pay attention to your dreams. Keep a journal by your bed. Now, even if it's gobbledygook, and that's a word, look it up. Jot it down, even if it makes no sense, even if it's something that is complete nonsense, at least you get a little bit. And what happens is, as you begin to write things down, you'll notice you get a little bit more information as you jot it down. So that's very important that you do that. So, to recap the minutia, pay attention to how you communicate. Speak your truth, but it doesn't need to be harsh. All right? Tending spirituality. Do what works for you. You don't got to get fancy. Share the burden when it comes to how you can serve your community. Get a group going. You guys can do things together. Everybody wins. And physically ask for help. Ask for assistance. There's got to be support to help you through this time. And then pay attention to your dreams. Jot them down. Spirit guides, messages, all kinds of visions, write them down. Meditations, write them down. They're going to help you for the upcoming moon phase. All right. That was your new moon solar eclipse in Virgo reading for the collective. Please give this video a like, share if you think others would be interested. Ring that bell if you want notifications. Please visit my website at theveiledcottagewitch.com, where you can book a reading, book a service, book a class. You can also shop my online store where you can order my holistic healing products and also my ritual and spell aids. Just remember at checkout to punch in the code word, all caps veiled, to get your free shipping. That's only available through this channel and my gift from me to you. So please don't forget to do that. If you'd like to financially support this channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee. All the details are down below, or you can just scan this QR code right here. Absolutely no pressure. Just live your best life and live for yourself. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.